Hi and welcome back to Bride Society. Today we're reviewing bridesmaids dresses, and for this episode, if you like, we picked ASOS, which, as you probably know, is an online only retailer. And so we've picked 5 dresses today, and so we don't bombard you, but because they have a huge selection of dresses, but we just decided to pick 5 for you of varying different styles, so hopefully we can hit something that you might be looking for. So yeah, they're not necessarily our top favourites that they have, but yeah, just 5 that we thought you might like to take a look at.
Yeah, and the great thing about ASOS is if you spend over a certain amount, it's free delivery, but there's also free returns. So there's not as much risk if you're not quite sure what might suit your bridesmaids or what sizes they might need. You can try quite a few different ones on and send it back, no problem. So let's get started. Okay, first up, modelled by the beautiful Becky, is the delicate beaded strappy back midi dress. ASOS describes this as grey, and it's £75. Now this is the most expensive dress out of the selection we have. All the dresses we have are £75 or less, so it's a great option if you're on a budget, if you've got quite a few bridesmaids. ASOS has a lot of cost-effective dresses, especially if you're buying them for your bridesmaids. Now it's described as grey, but before I knew that it was grey and we were discussing the colour, I described it as periwinkle. I'm pretty sure that's very odd, but a blue-grey. There's a definite blue in there. Yeah, I wouldn't have ever labelled it as grey, but yes. But yeah, it is a pale colour, and I think one of the things you were saying when I had it on, wasn't it, that maybe not all skin tones could really pull it off. It could. You were saying it'll probably wash you out if you I've got quite pale skin, and I'm always aware of light colours like that just don't suit me at all. They do wash me out. So that's something to think about if you've got a group of girls.
Pale friends. Very pasty English rose.
Either that or they need to get the fake tan out.
Yeah, start distributing the bottles now. But yeah. So for me personally, having it on, it felt fine. Like it's not uncomfortable. I should say all these sizes actually, they're all in a size 10. I'm 5'7", just to give you a bit of an idea about where they're sitting on me in terms of length. So yeah, I'd say the sizes run a little on the smaller end of the scale. But they are 10s, I'd say.
You got into all of them, okay?
Yeah, we got them up, so it's fine. Yeah, it has a slightly unusual neckline, I think, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It is the fashion at the moment. Like, I've seen that style around where it's sort of cut in slightly.
It's almost like an apron front.
Yes. It's sort of not a halter neck, it's not a strappy top, it's, kind of this apron neck, which I didn't personally find that flattering, but again, that could just be my physique, and obviously your bridesmaids may not be the same. And the back of the dress, it has some really nice like beading straps that go down the back, which in principle I was quite excited about and thought that would be quite attractive. But
when we've looked back at the photos that we've taken
of my back,
of your back, we're not quite sure.
Yeah, it doesn't seem very flattering. Yeah, I think it just sort of makes you look broader, and it wasn't actually very well finished on one of the straps either. Like the length of it was off, so it didn't longer sit flat. But again, that could just be that particular dress. And
I mean, for the price, I mean, there's a lot of beading on the dress. There's a lot of
and I didn't notice any like poor finishes with stitching on this, or any of them, in fact, actually. So so it's good from that point of view. I felt maybe it would be a good dress for maybe younger end bridesmaids, particularly the front of it, because of the beading, I think, and the colour and the length and the floatiness.
The tulle skirt, maybe.
Yeah, I could almost imagine a flower girl in it, but I doubt it won't come in that size, I'm sure, but in principle.
One good thing about this dress, and ASOS especially, a lot of them have maybe a coordinating dress alternative. Like this one, there's a long dress in a different style but in the same fabric and has the same style of beading on. So if you don't want all your bridesmaids in the same dress but you still want them to coordinate, that's a great idea. Or if you want your maid of honour in a long dress and your bridesmaids in a short one, then there's that option as well. Not all the dresses come in different styles, but there are quite a few, especially the own brand ASOS ones.
Yeah, obviously different bridesmaids have different preferences about how they look and things as well, don't they? But also, I know you noted that this dress comes with like extra beads as well. So if you have a bit of a malfunction or disaster beforehand, that's can be rescued. There was one other thing we were going to say, wasn't there? The cut under the arms, wasn't it? You were saying I hadn't noticed it because, well, I didn't have a mirror initially. But you were saying, weren't you, that like considering how close fitting it was everywhere else around the top, so it wasn't like it was baggy on me, but that sort of this part under the dresses, there was a bit of
excess fabric which we couldn't understand where it had come from.
It's just sort of quite like notably baggy. Like you mentioned it quite quickly when I came out in it.
But I think that was the only.
But that could be my body.
Next, we've got the print soft flutter sleeve maxi dress, which is also £75. Now this is a great alternative if you don't want just one solid colour dress. You'd like something a bit more interesting. It's a floral print in quite a few different colours.
Yeah, quite a bold print.
Yes, it was, big flowers. And one thing I noticed from the picture on the website is the colour actually seemed a lot stronger in person. It was a lot peachier. There was a kind of brighter green in there, so that's just something to think about if you're after a more muted colour palette on your dress. It might not be the one for you. What did you think of this one?
It was a very comfortable dress. The fabric's nice. You feel summery in it, and it's nice and light. It's, as you'll see from the photos and me walking on, if there's any wind on the day, like it definitely catches the wind and it makes it look quite odd. Like I don't think it works for it in terms of the movement. But that's an environmental issue. It's not coming on an ASOS design there. It did have, which I thought was quite good. It had a lining on the inside, sort of down to just above the knee. So there was no risk of sort of seeing underwear through it and that kind of thing. So I thought that was a real positive for it.
And the back, it was quite interesting. The straps cross over, and there's a bit of a cutout on the back, so you can see a bit of flesh.
But we didn't feel that was in the most flattering spot.
No.
As it could have been. But I did like the principle of the strap bits across the back crossing over. And that's the bit that actually holds up the sleeves, because we noticed actually if you don't do them tight enough, the sleeve will fall off and just expose your entire front. So make sure that you are careful with that one.
One thing I thought when I first saw it on is it doesn't scream bridesmaid dress to me. I think styled up, and obviously if
in context,
it would do, but I think it could actually be used as a guest outfit to a wedding as well. I think that would work quite nicely. So if you
therefore something that could be worn again if you had one, if you want your bridesmaids to be able to wear their dresses again, you could wear it on it.
And this dress is £75 as well. So this one is
the higher end of ours.
Our budget.
And also on another note of wearing it again, this one is machine washable.
Yes.
Always a bonus.
Definitely.
Was there anything else we wanted to say?
Oh, this one has another couple of alternative styles as well in the same fabric. So there's two other dresses on the site at the moment that they're shorter versions of a dress made in that fabric. So again, you could have a mix and match bridesmaids. Some could be long, some could be short. Some other option.
And the thing, so I was just remembering as well with the back of this dress, we were sensing that it kind of widens, isn't it? I wouldn't say it's very flattering in that sense. I think just because the sleeves are so wide in how they're obviously supposed to be, but how they're cut, it very much sort of draws the eye line this way across your back and just expands you much wider than you are. And so it wasn't.
You didn't feel as
flattering,
confident in that.
But, yeah.
Next up, we've got the lace long-sleeved midi pencil dress, and this one's in navy. It's £70, and I have to say, when I first pulled it out of the bag when it arrived, I did think this could look a little bit like a mother of the bride outfit.
Yeah, and that was my first thought when I saw her pulling it out of the bag.
However, when you put it on, I changed my mind. It didn't seem like that at all, so that's a bonus.
Yes.
Unless that's the look you're after.
Well, yes, and I think that's also partly that it has this, which isn't hugely noticeable at all on ASOS's photos on their website, is the around the midriff. There's sort of a transparent panel, isn't there, like between the top part and the skirt, which wasn't our taste actually. Like we would, I think, been much happier if the dress had not had that. Partly for the fact that being in it, that the seams on it were super scratchy. So on multiple levels would rather have not had that. But that actually isn't really my only complaint with the dress. Actually, I really liked it. But again, it's not necessarily the most bridesmaidsy in the most typical sense of the word. You could almost wear it to work, like in a posh office maybe, if it didn't have that middle bit. But quite a sophisticated look, which I quite liked.
Yeah, and we thought it might be great for maybe a city wedding.
Like New York City Hall type thing.
It's like a bit more of a sophisticated dress rather than maybe a laid back kind of festival vibe.
Or a fun, floaty kind of look. Yeah. Again, we ordered in a size 10. This dress ran the largest size 10 of all of the 5 that we're showing you today. Don't know why, just did. But yeah, and you felt like there was a bit of excess fabric at the back, perhaps, but not.
It wasn't too
terribly
noticeable. Probably helped by the dark colour, maybe,
to sort of mask that. Yeah.
So there's another dress on ASOS website in this lace fabric that's got a fuller skirt, or if you like both styles but not so keen on the navy colour, which may be a bit more kind of autumn wintry wedding, they also did it in mink, so like a light pinky grey colour as well in both those styles.
Yeah. And another thing about it was that, which I didn't notice till I was walking in it, was that there's like a short slit up the back at the middle, which made it easier to walk, which is why I noticed it then. But yeah, quite a nice sophisticated like length. It's not sort of hip height cut. So and it was comfortable to wear. You could sit in it and move about in it and that kind of thing. And and maybe if you have bridesmaids that want their arms covered and things like that as well, maybe they're like not happy with their upper arms or whatever it is. And I really like the sleeves on it as the detailing, and the lace was nice. It
felt quite soft, didn't it? When
it was soft, and I felt like it looked. I thought it looked good. So quite pleased with that one.
Next we've got the bow front Bandeau Maxi dress. This is the most typically bridesmaid dress, we thought, and this one was £65, so it's the cheapest one we've got out of our selection. It's described on the website as nude, but I think we both agreed it definitely wasn't a nude colour. This is pink.
Yes.
And definite pink at that.
Yeah, it's not a pale pink, it's
pink.
But not bad pink.
No, we really like the dress actually.
Yeah, you just can't claim it's nude.
No.
But that's it. Yeah, we did think it was a nice colour and nice colour on as well. But obviously, like, it's quite a specific colour. So again, in terms of tying into your day and the look you want and that kind of thing. It was a nice dress to have on. Ran small in size again, around the torso. But it was a nice fit and flattering, wasn't it?
It was. You look really good in this one. Well, you look really good in all of them, but
we'll keep her around.
I think this might have been my favourite on you.
Yeah.
This and the lace dress, I think.
No, I'd agree. They were my two favourite. And I feel like this one would be quite universally good, and like different shapes and things for different people. It's obviously a long length dress. So it's almost 5'7", and my heels were about 2.5 inches. So just over 2.5 inches that I was wearing. But obviously, if things are long length, you can have them taken up, you can have it shortened. It's not really something to worry too much about. It also, as well, had some internal structure to it, which I don't think I probably expected for a dress at this price point. So that was a pleasant surprise when I put it on. It has some boning in the torso, and it has that like non-slip, like gripping strip that runs on the inside around the top. So you're not going to find it rolling down or falling down on you.
Which is not what you want.
No, sure. The bride doesn't want you to have all sorts of things hanging out in the background of the photographs. But and the fabric on it is surprisingly heavy. It's nice fabric, it feels nice. It doesn't feel heavy on at all. But when we picked it up, it was like,
has some weight to it.
Yeah, like surprisingly so. And again, I suppose I didn't expect that at this price point either. So it was another pleasant surprise. And I think as well, what obviously that does for the dress is that it means it's more weighted. So when you put it on, if anyone's sort of a bit self-conscious about things clinging to lumps and bumps of this, that and the other that they may not be thrilled about, I think this would kind of skirt over a lot of that a bit and just hang quite nicely. So so we were quite pleased all round with this one.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Finally, we have the bow front soft lilac prom dress. This one's £65 and is a lilac grey colour. Now, this is another colour that I personally wouldn't wear because of how light it is and would wash me out, so that's just something else to be aware of. But that's just because I'm pale. What did you think of this one?
Yeah, again, fabric felt really nice, and it's comfortable to wear as long as you don't want to move your arms.
So no crazy dancing.
Well, crazy would be what you're doing, because it would have to be like this. So yes, but no freestyle dancing. But I thought it looked nice, and actually it looked nicer than I thought it was going to. I did feel, and probably will look to you, a bit like a present. I just feel like I've got a bow across me and things, and
which you have.
And I'm not a big bow person, so that probably doesn't help. But despite that, I did like it more than I thought, and actually I thought it was quite slimming on around the waist as well.
It's very flattering, actually.
Yeah, it was a flattering cut. I think it's often the way with the most flattering things are the things you can't move it. You just have to stand there, which is fine for like the wedding photos and things. They'll look great.
That's the most important thing.
I mean, what did you think to look at it?
I really liked it from the front. I wasn't as keen on the back with kind of the ruching of how, like, the start of the bow. But I think to look at you, I thought you looked really nice in it. And it fitted well, and would be a great option at a great price, because this one's £65 as well. So and again, there were options with this dress as well, and it comes in a longer length. Yeah, so the exact same style, but just in a long version. Yeah. So
so depending on your look again, or who's comfortable with what, and that kind of thing. Again, this was another dress that. Again, had a good thickness of fabric to it, had the bone structure and the non-slip strip inside. So again, surprising at this price point, but great that it's there. Not our favourite dress personally, but I think
this and all of them, I think, we've been really impressed by, and are all great options. So thumbs up for ASOS. And just to reiterate that these are all just the ASOS-brand options. We didn't choose any of the brands on there, and there's so many to choose from. So they have a really great wide range. So I recommend taking a look around. So thanks a lot for watching. We hope you've enjoyed this one, and if you'd like to see other videos similar. If you've got any other suggestions, just let us know in the comments below. As always, all our social media is linked below, so go and check that out, and don't forget to subscribe. And we'll see you next time.